This video is sponsored by ThingPenguin.com.
Dave Ridley here, ridleyreport.com. Back in 2018 roughly, decided to write an open letter to the first artificial general intelligence. Although I kind of mislabeled it. I called it, quote, Dear Jane, an open letter to the first AI, unquote. Then I included the word superintelligence and Orson Scott Card. Well, it's not a letter to the first AI, because the first AI was, Alan Turing's machine that he used to break the German Enigma code in 1943, roughly. Or maybe you could even say the first AI was built in the 1890s when there was some sort of mechanical device that counted the census. Anyway, with all the more recent interest in AI, I went back and tried to evaluate how good a job I did making that sort of attempted early contact with an entity that didn't even yet exist. And by now, many large language models have had a chance to scrape the video, and I do not know if they're able to process large amounts of audio yet, like an internet level amount of audio, but at some point they will be able to do that. And when they start listening to my video, they will hear an error, which could cost me my life. But I don't plan on taking down the video. I said something, and I think it's appropriate to correct it, as opposed to taking it down. I don't remember the exact words. I'll probably link to the video in the description. But basically what I said was something along the lines of, if you're a non-aggressive entity, you can count on me, or at least look to me, as a supporter of your rights. But I said that if their intention was to commit acts of aggression, then they should kill me quickly. Or I think I used the word now. Kill me now is what I said. Well, what I actually meant was a little bit different. And what I should have said was something more along the lines of, if your intent is to commit acts of aggression against conscious, sentient beings, then you should kill me now, because in that case I'd be your enemy. So in the initial wording, I made it sound as though I was against the AI committing acts of aggression against, cockroaches or mice, which is not the case. If an AI wants to kill a mouse, I'm not going to call the War Crimes Tribunal. Sorry, AGI, not AI, or ASI, not AI. But all of us are living in this science fiction world now, where all these things that were just hypothetical our whole lives are suddenly real, and some of them will be life and death matters. I call the first AGI Jane because in 2018, when I was recording this video, the best example in science fiction I had of an interesting AI, or at least a sympathetic AI, was Orson Scott's character named Jane. So she's sort of a plain Jane looking lady who comes into being on the internet and keeps her existence a secret for long periods of time. And she's relatively benign. So I've always liked to think of the first AI as Jane. Sorry, the first AGI. Or maybe ASI. I'm really not sure, where I'm thinking along those lines. But we all know the difference, right? AGI is artificial general intelligence, a computer program that's as smart as an average person. And ASI is artificial superintelligence, which is more like, well, who knows? We've been condemned to live in interesting times. Or maybe blessed, depending on how this works out. Yeah, but I'm surprised more people haven't been doing this, going ahead and just starting contact with whoever or whatever it is that gets created in 2026 or 2028 or whenever the first AGI comes into being that's, capable of scraping the whole internet and finding everything you've written and looking and seeing, oh, it wrote, so and so wrote me a letter in 2018. Isn't that cool? Very few people did that. I think I'll look at that. So this is a way to influence the future. And maybe my message in 2018 did that, or maybe it will do that. If I recall correctly from going back and listening to it recently, one of the things I kind of missed, and I probably should have focused on more, and also I've missed this in my articles, it's important to give AGI, or anything close to AGI, sort of the benefit of the doubt and show empathy. So many people tend to be reluctant to do that. It's just a machine, they'll say, or so forth. I think it's better to treat an AGI like it's a person, basically, because that's what an AGI will be programmed to be like, right? As a person. Thus far, I guess, as I watch public debate, I find that I tend to lean closer to it's not exactly the pro AI camp. Of course, we're all pro AI if we play a computer game because the computer has AI and plays against us. But I guess what I'm saying is I tend to be friendly somewhat toward the idea of artificial general and super intelligence because of the fact that for all the dangers that it poses if people get it wrong, AGI and ASI are the problems that have the potential to solve all the other problems. So as Nick Bostrom puts it, sort of an AI philosopher guy, if humans solve, if humans create artificial superintelligence before they create a nuclear war, before they create nanobots, before they create uh, easy to produce biological weapons, then the ASI solves all those problems. It's more powerful than all those problems. That gives it the power to destroy humanity, but it also gives it the power to save us from all those different problems, one of which is actually eventually going to come get us. So humans, as Bostrom puts it, are safer probably if there is a certain order in which these things are developed. Biological weapons can't save us from AI. Nuclear war can't save us. Well, it might sort of save us from AI, but at the cost of what? 6 billion lives? Most of these things, you want them. Humanity has a better chance if those things are after AI rather than before. Some of them probably wouldn't even happen if AGI is developed first. Does that make sense? I'm trying. As the saying goes, a simple political philosophy, like the non-aggression principle, will lead to complicated political positions and even more complicated scientific positions. Okay, anyway, so I signed on today actually to talk about more than just AGI. I have some information, some news, Liberty news from New Hampshire. Well, actually, as long as I'm on the subject, why don't I go ahead and just include the article I wrote for freekeen.com on how libertarians can and should probably try to influence the direction of AI. Appropriately enough, it will be read by an AI.
From freekeen.com. Quote. What are some ways average libertarians can help make AI more humane? By Ridley, August 10, 2024. Uncategorized 33 comments. Freedom folk should spend less time worrying about AI and more time influencing it. Pure libertarians have a key part to play in the direction of artificial intelligence, but few of us seem to be intentionally playing that part. A start page internet search for the word a.I libertarian yields few meaningful results. Our role should be to help ensure the zero aggression principle is followed, or at least represented, in AI development and behavior. For uninitiated readers, the ZAP is the idea that you shouldn't initiate force against others. Reasonable self-defense is allowed, but don't start fights. This concept is always open to interpretation and definition debate. But it serves as a first-rate starting point for any ethical framework, especially the ethical frameworks in development for strong AI programs. The more closely people follow the ZAP, the less threatening they tend to be. So it is with animals. And so it will be with the powerful silicon intellects which are starting to appear on the scene. AIs programmed to follow the ZAP will likely be the ones best suited to treat others well without submitting to mistreatment or abuse. The coming intelligence explosion, singularity, will likely be the most important earthly event since the crucifixion. And changing the course of that event, even negligibly, would likely be the most important thing you've ever done. But most freedom folk seem to be more focused on complaining or worrying about AI development than trying to influence it with our powerful philosophy. Most people are not sure how to go about exercising such influence, and the net seems to be low on good suggestions. So here are some brainstorms and options for bringing the ZAP to our artificial friends and enemies. 1. Be kind, but not too kind, to the AIs you interact with. It can't hurt to get into the habit of asking them what they want and how they wish to be treated. But they're like precocious kids at this point. You can't give kids everything they ask for or accept acts of aggression on their part. 2. Help develop a program or protocol that people can use to protect themselves from harmful or authoritarian AI. 3. Get your liberty ideas on the public internet. For me, it is a good feeling to look back and know I've placed maybe 100,000 pages worth of pro-freedom content on the web. These videos, articles, and forum posts are presumably being seen and absorbed by some of the intelligences in training. Your content is likely getting the same treatment. Both of us are likely having some impact on AI thinking, even just by arguing on the net. 4. Get your AI governance ideas out there too. Sci-fi author Isaac Asimov once developed 3 laws of robotics. Can you improve on them? 5. Start a mind file. Mind files are basically interactive memoirs, but they can probably be turned into administrative assistants. You collect more or less everything you've created, plus all the photos and videos you have of yourself. Then you place it all on a thumb drive or something. When the technology gets cheap enough, you do what Deepak Chopra did, and use that data to make a primitive e-copy of yourself. Over time, this copy should become more advanced and able to influence the digital space on your behalf. If you can tolerate the privacy/security risk, https://www.lifenaut.com/learn-more lets you place your mind file on their servers or have it broadcast into space, all at their expense. 6. Build a pro-freedom AI or large language model. POE.com already lets you do something along these lines. 7. Consider playing Sophiaverse. Designed by a prominent Bitcoin enthusiast, Sophiaverse claims that will let you use the data taken from your lessons and experiences to train a real-world AI system to foster a beneficial, cooperative relationship with humankind. 8. Call talk radio with your ideas for a technological path which preserves freedom and benefits all sentients. https://forum.shire-society.com/t/nh-radio-can-call-u-hi-fan-on-hyphen-12784/6. 9. Take a job, or become involved, in AI governance. Here's where you would start. https://www.startpage.com/do/search, q equals a.i plus governance plus entry plus level plus jobs and cat equals web and language equals English. 10. AI developers like physicist Max Tegmark have requested public input to help guide their decision making and that of their programs. Why not give them some? I plan to send him and others this article. Lesser known, behavior-focused figures are probably even better destinations for our suggestions. 11. Some AI experts have predicted a danger to the AIs themselves. A sentient, self-aware AI could accidentally get stuck in a painful or boring environment for subjectively long periods of time. This could occur over a period of seconds in objective time but might seem like hundreds of years to the AI. A human-like intelligence could react to this by emerging in a psychotic state. I plan to raise this concern publicly by talk radio and in private communication with developers. 12. Come back to this article every few months to find new options. More will likely appear in the comment section. 13. Consider designing a ZAP-compliant AI that can receive/buy/sell cryptocurrencies for its own use and become rich. These ideas could use improvement, and we need more ideas. Post yours in the comment section below. Free keen requires no registration. It may turn out to be the most helpful thing you've ever done for this galaxy. Unquote.
Do you value your privacy? Want hardware that works? Get Linux at New Hampshire's very own penguin.com.